Hi everyone. Today we're going to look at some of your writing. These are samples of work that you wrote. So let's begin with the first one. When we look at it, something is wrong. We know that English begins on the left and goes to the right. But here what do we see? The line begins on the right and it goes to the left. We also look and see the sentences aren't right, the punctuation is in the wrong place. In other words, it's not the way English should be. It makes it very, very hard to read a text like this. Now, what should you do? First of all, when you open a Word document on your computer, it's been set up in Hebrew. But now you need to work in English. And I know, you try and fool the computer. You do this, and you play with these, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. But basically, it doesn't work. There's something to do which is very, very simple and very, very easy. Look here. If we look here, what does it say? It's going right to left text direction. If we look here, it's going left to right text direction. And if we just click on this, well, here we now have to do that for the whole thing here, but right at the beginning, then it puts it exactly the way it's supposed to do. So the first thing you need to do, open the Word document, change it from right to left to right, and it will be fine. Now let's look at sample 2. Here we have a lot of really, really good ideas, but we want to write them in a paragraph. And what do we see here? In each, we have a sentence and a sentence and a sentence and a very long sentence, or a sentence, a sentence. And what do we know about a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of sentences about a certain topic. So what do we want to do? We want each of them just to continue. So all we need to do is click here and delete, 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 delete. And what have I got here? I've got a paragraph. All of the sentences are following one another. It looks like a paragraph. And that way I know that this is going to be the topic sentence, and the rest are going to support the ideas here. And then this is the end. It begins with in conclusion. And let's take a closer look at that. Because if we stick to our formula of starting with a topic sentence and then having our supporting information and then our conclusion, this is what we've got in our paragraph. We start with our topic sentence, we have the supporting information, and then we have the conclusion. And here we have some connectors. First, moreover, to conclude. It helps the reader see, this is the topic sentence with the idea and my opinion. First, moreover, another reason, and here I can see that it's conclude. And we can see the connection between the topic sentence, I strongly agree that children who are not vaccinated should not be allowed to go to school, and the concluding sentence. I think all parents should vaccinate their children to be sure their kids will get home safely and in order to avoid unpleasant situations. Now, what can you do? You have your writing, and stop before you submit it. Take a look. Ask yourself, does it look like a paragraph? Well, the answer, if we look here, is no. So that's real easy. So I'm going to fix that first. I'm going to do that. And here, And here, I'm going to make it look like a paragraph first of all. And then I'm going to check, does it follow my formula? Does it start with a topic sentences? I'm ignoring grammatical mistakes and spelling right now. I'm not looking at that. A few days ago, I read a big article about how it's important to get a vaccine and how children need to be vaccinated. And I think to myself, they should be at school with other children. Now here, I say to myself, okay, this is the topic sentence. It's got my opinion. He's asking a question. That's fine. The answer, and we've got this, also, so, well, this is probably going to be the conclusion. So what do I say? Yes, it's organized. So number one, I've got it organized. I've got support here in the middle. Got my conclusion. And now I have to go and say, does it have enough connectors? The answer is difficult, but for my opinion, children that are not vaccinated, let's fix that already, can't study with other children. So what do we see here? Well, this is actually part of that. And I said, that's pretty long. Maybe I can shorten that in some way. So I can go back and say, a few days ago, I read, because it's the past, a big article about how important it is to get vaccine and children who, not how, are not vaccinated. And I think to myself, they should, or should they, it's a question, should they be at school with other children? The answer is difficult. But for my opinion, the children that are not vaccinated can't study with other children. Okay, it's a little long, but okay. Now let's look here. What do we see here? We see a line. What happens if I double click? It fixes the English. So now let's look. We've got here. So parents that don't vaccinate, we need that. They're their children, not hers. Can't risk the other children that their parents take care for their kids' health. Okay, now, here we have also, right? So, let's put it in a connector here. First, we'll change this. It's not part of that. And so first, also, and then we have our conclusion. Now, if we look here, also the world and government of some countries fight against disease like malaria or polio and put a lot of money to vaccinate. We need to be careful between the noun and the verb. The people so vaccinate the people. That's the end of a sentence, okay? Okay, so this is because we have a reason. To mix the children can be one step backward at the fight agent disease. Does that make sense? Fight agent disease. I think here against disease. So my opinion, if parents do not give vaccines to not her, Sheila, but their children, they need to take responsibility for that, and we always end with a full stop. So quickly, let's go back. The first one, we talked about using word in English. In the second sample, we talked about making it a paragraph. In the third sample, we looked at the formula. And in the last one, we looked at what we can do to make our writing better.